VPIP had. Queen 2 suited. We will get out of your way. 4th out of 21, you guys. Hey, Nikiki, thank you again so much for being here and sticking with us as long as you have. Really awesome to have you as a part of the stream. Look at that. Slop House and Feels Good, man. Goes ahead and just chops that up with a full house on the board. Feels Good, man. Taking a small step forward. Vandervile 1 saying the undergun limp is their way of concealing the strength of their hand and catching re-raises shoves for a high variance result. Whose way? The limp is in? No. Open limping is not in. Open limping is not in. Friday 28 saying Carver open limps a lot. Well, Carver can do what he wants, and Carver's a champion, you know. So whatever. You know, I've seen Lane Flack open limp before.
We have.
You know, we see a lot of players who are good open limp. We don't do it, and I think they're leaks. I think that, sure, sometimes they're going to be able to compensate for whatever equity points they give away pre-flop by not giving themselves a chance to just take down the blinds and antes, by not giving themselves a chance to go ahead and c-bet with the pre-flop aggression. They're going to be able to compensate for that by their post-flop play.
My mom opened lips.
You know, but it's really hard for me to come up with reasons. Exactly. Michelle pretty much just spelled it out. She said, my mom opened limps. And that's
all the time.
All the time. That's pretty much
That's
right.
all she does. That's how she plays.
Vegas Poker, well put. He's saying, when is the word limp ever associated in a good way? Limping is terrible. I think the only time I think, yeah, it just never is. And Limp Donk saying not if it folds to me nor in the long run. IO Rick asks, explain the subscriber animation. So that animation is the crowd surf that we took after our very first bracelet in 2006, going heads up against Joe Hatcham. Feel Good's man with the pocket kings again here in the big blind, and this time they hold. Vegas JF getting away from that pretty cheap. You know, most of the time that kind of cooler is going to gonna be the death of Vegas JF. Okay, making a raise here, 3,300 balls, making a raise. Sladgy says, Dutch, how do you feel about trying to exploit the regs and the players who abuse the under the gun raises? Right, under the gun, it's the new button raise. I think that here's the problem with trying to exploit, the solid aggro tag lag players who decide to make a lot of under the gun raises. Is a lot of times they're liable to 4-bet you, and then you're just kind of looking at it and be like, now what? You know, you're going to get into awkward spots. A lot of times you're just better off practicing avoidance against those kind of players. Jack Jaflack saying, what does your girlfriend do for work, or do you just support her? I would say that we support each other. We're a team. A lot of times she's here on the stream.
Lazy bum.
She does a lot. She does a lot, but she doesn't have a job. She is on the stream almost every stream. She does a lot of, she edited the book.
I'm an independent worker.
Cooks like a champion. And she's worked before, not right now. I think that we lost the stream a little bit.
Did you tell him I'm homeless and you found me in the streets of Las Vegas? As a homeless person. Oh, tell him I'm a fortune teller.
She's a fortune teller.
And for $5.99 a minute, I can tell him his fortune. I have a tarot deck. I can read his fortune.
Dropping a couple more frames. We dropped 3,720 frames so far. What do we do with our 9-8 off against Babyface Jace's open limp? And once again, Babyface Jace just shipping it. Why, Babyface Jace?
Dutch, do you think $5.99 a minute's too cheap?
This is so lame. Babyface Jace, why? Why do that? Why do that? It doesn't make any sense. You know, you're going to get snap called. You're going to get snap called with a lot of hands there that you're just crushed by. And anytime that you're not like any time that we fold, why wouldn't you want to give us an opportunity to go ahead and c-bet? It's just horrible. So now he's doing it again, open limping again. I think that we'll just go ahead and not abuse him this time. Intro for Zero. That's pretty funny, actually. He says, "Would you like to see streams frame history?" A little play on the little message after a tournament with WSOP saying, "Would you like to see tournament's hand history?" And Laptop Man G, how did we get to 69K? We got through Feels Good Man. He raised on the button with kings. We had ace jack and re-raised enough where when he shoved, we were getting the right odds to call, even if we know he has kings or queens, and we're not liking it, but we did make the call and cracked it. So Feels Good Man ended up losing a really big pot to us. So it goes. He's built up his stack pretty well since then. I mean, he was down to less than 2 big blinds. Now, as you can see, he's back up to about 10 big, so he's right back in it. But we're in good shape. We're in good shape.
Should have you with Crystal Ball on my page, and then charge like $10.99. Or better yet, we click it. It'll be like a yes or no one. Like you ask it a question, it will say yes or no.
Okay, it's a good idea.
You should do it under xmall.com.
Okay, so the poop asking to see Xmaw's head. You got it, man. We'll activate that. You mind? I'm gonna put you on stream.
No, don't. Come on, I have a face mask on, and I have my teeth. My teeth are being whitened.
So King Queen off. We've got Slophouse now raising 2,200 more. We've seen that raise before. We'll make the call with King Queen, but we don't love it.
Oh, they didn't see how you doubled. They didn't see how you got a double.
I explain it here in a second.
Okay.
So what do we think Slophouse has? Well, we think Slophouse has Ace Jack. Vandervile saying hit the replayer for that double up stream crashed. And Vegas JF, we will come at you here. He's got 11 bigs. 18,000 more to call if he makes the ship. Instead he folds. We take it down with our 6-3 offsuit. Which is good. Super Swooper saying just took 9th in 1250 in Bovada's Sunday 100K. Heartbroken now, but I feel good about all my decisions. The $220 helps. Up over 5,000 this weekend. Your streams seem to be helping. Nice job there, Super Swooper. I'm happy for you. Truly am. 2,200. Cashing for 2,200. Very nice job. Very nice job. So, Slophouse defending. Flop comes Jack 10-6. Slophouse decides to go ahead and make the check to us. We will fire out the same amount into that super, super wet board. Not loving it. Not loving it, Slophouse. But Like we say, if the flop scares you, it scares them too. Let's go ahead and make that C bet with any two cards, with any flop, when we have the heads up. When we have the heads up position aggression. JM Weatherman behind us. We've got Vegas JF behind us. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make the raise again with our King 10 off. It's good enough. United We Zag says, when your girl and or wife doesn't have to work, you're obviously doing something right. Mayhaps. Mayhaps. Hydrate LOL says, how do you like living in Vegas? I'm thinking about transferring to UNLV. I love living in Vegas, Hydrate. I think it's I mean, it is hot. Yes, it is. But I think it's one of the coolest places to live in the world. I mean, it's like a big conveyor belt with tourists just coming in. It's a big conveyor belt of tourist money and interesting people. You know, there's always new interesting people out there on the strip to meet. Great shows, great food. It truly is the the city that never sleeps. So many good things about living in Vegas, and I think that living here is better than living here is a lot better than just visiting here. You know, it can be pretty expensive to visit here, but if you live here, it's actually a really cheap city to live in. I mean, there's no state income tax. There's very cheap locals deals where you can get like 2 for 1, or I mean, if you know a lot of like the good local spots, I mean, it's great. You go out and you drink, and you pop $20 into a video poker machine, hit bet max a couple times, and drink for free all night. $5 movie Mondays at the Palms, $5 movie Tuesdays over at the Orleans. It seems like every casino has deals for locals and industry nights. I think it's kind of a dream. I mean, there's certain places in Vegas that are a little sketchy. There's certain problems with the city. For example, the education level of the city is a little bit to be desired. Tony Hsieh over the CEO of Zappos, founder of Zappos, has been trying to kind of make Vegas kind of a tech center. Kind of trying to revitalize downtown Vegas. I feel like that has not.
There if no one's coming here.
That's true. They won't get there if no one's coming here. I feel like those efforts have kind of fallen short, because when it comes down to it, the level of higher education here in Vegas per capita is awfully low compared to most other urban areas. Wow, Sergeant Pepper getting in pretty good there. Of course, J.W. Weatherman does have those spades, so always a little bit of a sweat there. Sergeant Pepper picking up a really big pot, getting J.W. Weatherman out of here. And that's going to put Sergeant Pepper is the only person above 100,000. Second is Slophouse. We've got the two biggest stacks at our table. At the other, and then we've got Bonefish in fourth. So 4 of the 5 biggest stacks are at our table. The other table has Castor, who's in third. And we'll probably have to run into him at the final table. Pat's Poker 23 saying, let's knock some people out. It's almost 1 in the morning. I will do my best there, Pat's Poker. I am Sith Azagog. Azagoth. Good to see you in the stream, man. By the way, Flatty, yes, Exmoa did hear that Nicole won the tourney at the Stratosphere and said good job. I think that we've had so many dropped frames that we've had some issues. Maybe that got lost in translation. Making the raise. 4,100 seems right. And Flatty saying she is due November 10th. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, my friend. I'm really happy to hear that things are going well. Boned Fish defending in the small blind, checking to us. And we're making that half pot bet in the against the small blind defense. I think a lot of times we're able to get through. A lot of times Bonefish is sitting here with like a smaller pocket pair, decides not to go ahead and continue. Is looking at like an ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 hand, and decides not to continue. Anytime they have like a queen jack, queen 10, jack 10 hand, they're done. Flatty28 saying, would you trade the sunglasses you played the 2015 WSOP in for a brand new PS4? Yeah, I would. I think that would be a bad trade for anybody on the other side of it. Of course. I will say this: the ones I played in, they are custom. You know, they're little DKNY frames that I had the Blue Sharks popped into. I have a big head, so you know they're actually pretty big style aviators. Babyface Jace deciding to go ahead and make that 4X raise. We'll get out of your way, Babyface Jace. Babyface Jace, man. This guy, guys. Babyface Jace, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Making the raise. If Vegas JF makes the re-raise ship for another, what would it be, 13,000 here, then we're going to have to call. We're not going to like it, but we're going to call. Not such a horrible flop for us, and yet we have Slophouse firing out a half-pot size bet rather quickly into us, just donk leading into us. I mean, we kind of hit it, Slophouse. We're going to fold. We are going to fold. We're going to practice what we preach. Spots, not hands. And it just doesn't look like the right spot for us. I think that Slophouse actually has something there. Not a draw. Of course, he could have had spades. You know, we might have just knitted away a nice chunk of change from Slophouse. But I don't think so. Huffy67 says, wow, I just came back from a 10-minute meeting and we've pretty much doubled up. Dutch Boyd, it's time. Take it down. Take it down, player. I'm going to try. Huffy67, thanks for the encouragement. Albino 2004 saying, tons of hookers. I missed the first part of that conversation, but...
in Vegas.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
No, you were talking about Vegas in the chat.
There are indeed. Steak and eggs, $2.99. Vegas Poker Sand. Nutraker, great question. He says, why is Antigua a bad place to live but a good place to visit, as you said one time? The reason, Nutraker, is because it is a small island with a very small population. You know, it doesn't have the kind of you know, amenities and services that you'd expect to have that we've kind of come accustomed to. It's hard to get, you know, simple things like reliable internet. It's hard to get, you know, simple things like you want the newest Jonathan Little book. Well, now, you know, if you're in the States, just go on Amazon and it's shipped to you right away. If you're in Antigua, you have to wait. You know, you want to go see a movie? Antigua has one theater, and they're like 3 or 4 months behind what we get to see in America. You want to listen to some awesome music? Well, now it's a little bit better because you got online streaming, and they do have internet. A6 off. I think we just make the fold here under the gun.
We have good chicken.
You want a really good meal? Well, you're out of luck. You're out of luck. The nice thing that Antigua has is beaches, beautiful sky, not a lot of light pollution, a very relaxed atmosphere. It's really a beautiful place to visit. It really is. I mean, some of the nicest memories I've had are on an Antiguan beach, looking up at the sky at night. It's really nice. But you get there, and if you're living there,
Landlocked.
you get landlocked. Exactly. You get island fever, and you yearn for the days where you could just go to Walmart and, you know, get you know, chocolate covered pretzels. You know, that's an ordeal if you're in Antigua. You know, you yearn for the days where you could just like go to In-N-Out Burger or McDonald's and, you know, pick up a Big Mac. That's an ordeal in Antigua. Okay, let's make the fold. You yearn for the days when people weren't walking in the middle of the street at midnight with no lights.
No lights?
No, there's no street lights.
No.
I mean, it's just flat out dangerous, and I don't think that there's any drinking and driving laws in
I think
Antigua.
they had a hurricane or whatever warning just a few days ago too.
This is pretty crazy. I don't think that there is any drinking and driving laws in Antigua. So there's a lot of people who are just like cruising down drunk.
Our friend Phil's there, and there was a hurricane warning
Oh yeah,
from like 3 to level 1 now.
it is hurricane season, I think.
Oh, bong season just got banned or something.
Let me take a look. Oh,
What's that mean?
nice.
Right now, I'm right here.
She's right there.
I'm going on my nails.
You know, I feel like we've been pretty aggro against Slophouse, but we're gonna keep it up. We've got an ace high. It's too good to just open fold on the button, so we'll keep up that aggression. I don't really want to, you know, I don't want Slophouse to think that we're bullying him. We aren't bullying him. We have the best hand.
They don't have drinking and driving laws?
I don't think they do.
Wow.
You know, it's a small country, so a lot of the laws are kind of undeveloped. They just don't have the infrastructure that we have in America. But it is a beautiful place to visit. King Deuce offsuit. We got Sergeant Pepper in there in the big blind. We will fold. And Slophouse coming at Sergeant Pepper. Man, I wonder what Castor's doing at the other table. He's still in third place. I think that I'm going to go ahead and open up that other table and just kind of see what's going on. It sure looks like he's just abusing the other stacks. Fade to black, though, now has 160,000. I wonder how that happened.
I don't really consider Periscope a pirate. It's funny.
Making the fold. I'd like to get a little bit closer to that final table before I start applying the pressure on some of these stacks. We got jamming on faces and Vegas JF, who just have, you know, who are the drowning stacks and have pretty good shove stacks in front of them. Little King 10 suited doesn't look so bad. Sergeant Pepper comes in with a raise, I would think. Bonefish makes the call. And now I'm really tempted to 3-bet. I think we're just going to go ahead and make the call, though. Folding's out of the question. Let's see what happens. We could have just flopped the joint there. That would have been awesome. Instead, we don't. We do have 4 outs here. 3 clean outs. 1, you know, kind of dirty out. Maybe we get a free shot at it. What do you do, Sergeant Pepper? Fire out? No, he doesn't. Instead, he checks back. And I don't really think that Sergeant Pepper could check back with an ace. I think that he fires out on that flop. The 3 of hearts hurts our hand. Kind of interesting, though. What do we think is going on here? Sergeant Pepper with like maybe a Jack 10, maybe like pocket 6s. Maybe he did check back with an ace. It's not going to matter. We're just done with it. I.O. Rick saying recommended playing cards. I would say Copag or maybe Kim. So Slophouse making the raise here. 2,400 in the big blind. We've seen Slophouse. Wow, look at that. Bonefish just making the call.
We're gonna like take over the poker world.
And high spade, 2 months in a row you've been with us. We're going to go ahead and just make a call here with pocket jacks and see a flop. If Vegas JF shoves here, we're beating him into the pot if these other guys fold. What happens? Ace hits, pretty much done with a hand. High spade, thanks so much for being with us 2 months in a row. Thanks for sticking with us with that sub button. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate all of you subs, man. We really do. Vegas Poker asking, do you remember dial-up?
Are you trying to do gallop sound? Don't whistle.
Home Fry 2 asking Dutch, have you been to the link? That is where we are staying for the marathon in November.
Oh, no.
I have been to the link. But it wasn't called the link, it was called the quad. You know what, I hear that they've done some renovation. Maybe it's awesome now. I hope for your sake it is. When I was there, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I'm going to go to bed here in a minute. June wants to go potty.
Ja Rookie responded to Albino 2004 saying that his ex-girlfriend was caught with 2 kilograms of cocaine in Antigua. What happened? What happened to your ex albino 2004? Did she get thrown into an Antiguan prison? That's no good. That's no good. I'd imagine so. I mean, they have pretty strict drug laws there.
Do they?
But I think that for the most part, they're not going to. I mean, it's not going to be like Turkey or South Korea. It's going to be more like deporting and never returning. Probably. I'm Crazy No saying, I miss hearing welcome. You've got mail. That's pretty funny. Okay, here we go. 4900. Firing out into Sergeant Pepper. Getting through these guys, which is good. I would think Sergeant Pepper probably defends with pretty light. Instead, he gets out of our way, which is great. We'd kind of prefer that. And wow. At the other table, two big stacks going at it. Blind versus blind. Chaos Theory with the ace-9. MDX with the king-4. And they get it all in there. It looked like pre-flop. King-4 ends up turning two pair against the pair of aces. So what does that put us at? 6 over here, 5 over at the other table. We're at 11 players left, you guys. Austin from Boston 69, good to see you, man, saying our infrastructure is something, bro. I don't know what you're saying because it's been you could be saying our infrastructure is shit, or you could be saying it is the shit. I don't know. Making the fold here against Slophouse. And it looks like now we are down to 10. We're probably going to be losing Slophouse if they do this right. He just lost J-Chack with an 8-9 suited. We are on the bubble, you guys. On the money, on the not the money bubble. We're on the final table bubble. Making the fold here against Sergeant Pepper. We'll go ahead and be a little differential to the big stack of the tournament. And we do lose Slophouse, so good for you, WSOP.com, for doing it right. Guys, money bubble, 10 players left. We are in 6th place. As you can see here, this is what we're looking at. Money starts at 8, 651 for 8th. Then it starts going up from there. Top 5, I'll get over $1,000. Top place here is 4,485. Would love to get that tonight. We're looking pretty good to do it, guys. We're in this for one add-on and the entry, so in for 200. If we can cash in this, it's going to be a positive day. If not, then it's a little bit of a painful day. But we have some other opportunities maybe to get the money back. We've got the weekend sprint coming up here. We've got Midnight Mayhem still. We'll probably keep on going for a little while. You guys are the absolute stone cold nuts. Really appreciate all of you. Make sure to click on that follow button. Help us get to our goal of 9,100. How are we looking for that goal, guys? Let me see here. We're at 9,100. We hit our goal. Thank you guys for clicking on the follow button. If you haven't yet, new goal 9,200. Click on that little heart right underneath the video. Just always moving the goalposts, right? You guys are the best. We'll be right back in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Don't go. And guys, we are back. We are back, hand for hand, almost at the final table, in the second biggest tournament of the week. This is awesome. This is exactly what we want to be doing. Boned fish makes the fold, and yeah, we'll go ahead and take a little shot here with our Jack 5 suited. See if maybe we can just get through Vegas JF and jamming on faces. And we do, so that's good. Up to 70,000. Okay, you guys, hand for hand is in progress. What's going on the other table? Slophouse and MDX at the other table. I'm going to go ahead and add it. We can go ahead and switch back and forth. It looks like not much happens there. 6-5 off for us. We'll make the fold. Move over to the other table. Sergeant Pepper just gets the walk. I was watching an interesting thing today on Jay Carver's stream. He says anytime a player gets the walk, you always have to wonder if you just missed an opportunity to pick up the blinds and antes, and I think that's a good way of looking at it. Was that the spot? Was that a good spot? Parkland 2015, good to see you in the stream. We got Poker Nut also chilling out with us. Good to see you as well. What do we think about this? Let's do it. 5,700. See if we can't just get through. Got through that guy, got through that guy. Sergeant Pepper in the small blind. Sergeant Pepper gets makes the fold. Boned fish makes the fold. And that's how we do it. 74,000 guys. We just got a sub too. Oh, you guys didn't see. Deadlift Day just subscribed. Very first sub. Deadlift Day. Big fist bump to you, man. Thank you so much for not first sub of the day, but first sub for Deadlift Day. Deadlift Day. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. And yes, we are going to go ahead and send you over a DRM-free digital version of my ebook, Poker Tilt. Let's go ahead and make the call here against Sergeant Pepper. We are going to go ahead and defend. Not the greatest flop for us. We could easily still be ahead of whatever he's coming to the table with. How much heat are we really going to take here? Not much. The answer is not much. So let's go ahead and make the fold. Not the spot we're looking for, not the flop we're looking for. Deadlift Day. Thanks again so much, man. Big fist bump to you. Welcome to the crew. You are awesome, man. You're awesome. If it wasn't for you and you other subs, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here. Vegas JF. I feel like we've been kind of bullying the table, so we're going to go ahead and give you a walk. Giving you a walk here. Is it a good move? I don't know. I think that it's just so easy for him to make a ship there. It's a disaster if he lets himself get knocked out. But I think that's going to set us up well for future small blind raises, I hope anyway. Because I think that this is going to go hand for hand for a little while. I'll make the fold here. Let Vegas JF make a shove against jamming on faces. I'm not trying to look like a bully, you guys. But we do want to be a bully. Matty Mats 13, good to see you in the stream.
I had a card.
Asking, how do we subscribe?
Did you leave that card in there on your desk?
I don't know. So Fade to Black on the other table, along with Caster, is kind of abusing those mid-range stacks. We got the 4-7 suited. We will make the fold against Sergeant Pepper. The only player at our table who can really do a lot of harm to us. Sergeant Pepper now looking at a shove from Jam on faces. I'm probably going to make the fold here. Makes the call with Queen High. Flops the joint. Wow. And Jam on faces has a few outs. That's not going to be one of them. We're at the final table, boys. Final table hype. And we're going to go ahead and turn it over to subscriber only for the chat mode.
I'll stay up until you win this.
Man, this is awesome. Final table of the second biggest tournament of the week. We're sitting here in 6 out of 9. I think is what we're looking at. Let's look at this other table too. Interesting things happening over here with Babyface
Oh, you're at the
Jace
final table.
making the ship. Babyface Jace just open ships.
Aren't you at the final table right now?
Yeah.
So what's this that you're seeing? The other table?
It's hand for hand. So
Oh.
we're seeing the other table finish the hand that was in progress.
Oh.
That's gonna do it. That is gonna do it. Final table for us. 5 out of 10. That can't be right. I think they were at 6 out of 9. 5 out of 9. So right in the middle of the pack. Fifth would pay 12.29. The next person out gets nothing.
Oh, God.
Absolutely nothing. But that's not going to be us. It's not going to be us. Let's go ahead and bring this table all the way down under our overlay. There we go.
What is this? Is this the reloader?
An ace queen offsuit. Such a strong hand, right? We're going to make the fold, and this is a very, very nitty fold. But you know what, you guys? The problem with opening here is that we've got Fade to Black, we've got Caster, we've got a couple of these pretty aggro players behind us looking at our stack and sensing an opportunity. And it's going to be a very uncomfortable call for us with these guys right here all underneath our stack waiting to go out on the bubble. Mark my words, what's going to happen is probably we're not going to see Bonefish get knocked out. We're probably going to not see Vegas JF get knocked out. We're probably going to see Caster or Fade to Black going after one of these stacks here, Slophouse or Babyface Jace, and putting the pressure on them when they open. And then probably cracking them with some sort of stupid coin flip. That's usually how these things go. Caster coming in like he should. Bonefish makes the fold. We will also fold.
Big buy-ins is Bobby's there.
Bobby Big Buy-In. He has returned right in time. We are at the final table. It's great to be here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Twitterverse too, you guys. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, at DutchBoyd. Always awesome to get some Twitter shout-outs and some Twitter love. Look at the Babyface Jace just open limping there. And why, man? Why do you open limp there, Babyface Jace?
Do you have your payouts on the side there?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Really tempting spot to go ahead and attack Babyface Jace, but instead we just play it pretty timidly. We'll make the fold here, and I think that these guys are going to be playing this really on their belly. So Vegas JF falling in scary territory. Slophouse making a raise. Caster deciding to go ahead and make a little float play here. And such a big percentage of the time this pot's going to go to Caster. Sergeant Pepper kind of spoiling it. But again, I think that this is going to go to Caster just because Slophouse has the kind of stack where it's such a disaster to let himself get bubbled out here. Caster has to know it. Sergeant Pepper has to know it. But I would expect Caster to actually do something about it. Instead, Caster gets out of the way. And I think that the reason we're seeing Caster get out of the way has more to do with Sergeant Pepper than Slophouse. Could be wrong. Ace-King offsuit. That's a pretty good hand for us. Pretty good hand for us, you guys. And we've got Caster coming in with a raise. let's go ahead and just make the call. We'll see what happens on the flop, Caster. I think the Caster is definitely going to be playing pretty aggro against us. So if we can hit the flop, this is going to go well. We are going to be in call down mode. Wow, Caster just checks to us. We check behind. I don't really think that there's a lot of free cards we're worried about here. 7 of diamonds hits. We're okay with it. Go ahead and take a stab at it, Caster. We will make the call. And pretty bad board run out, really, but we're going to have to make the call here. I mean, Jack 10 fucks us up pretty good. Ace 6 fucks us up pretty good. 8 9 fucks us up pretty good. He checks to us, and I guess we'll just go ahead and take the equity here. Yeah, we got it. So Caster, that was a pretty bad run out for us. It truly was. A good chunk of the time we're able to, you know, pick up a pretty big pot. If it doesn't come out so scary. We decided not to, you know, go for Value Town. Maybe that's a mistake. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's okay to just check down. Fade to black in that big blind. Yeah, let's go for it here. 6,100. Fade to black. Such a bull. And we got Sergeant Pepper with a huge stack in front of him, but I just feel like Ace 8 off is just a little bit too good to open fold. So we're going to take a little bit there.
We are gonna like take over the poker world.
Look at this. We got a Karma Kiosk. Just subscribed, man. Welcome to the crew. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it, dude. Really appreciate it. Good things are happening left and right. We made the final table. We just you know, went from 60K to 90K. Took a little chunk from Caster, who actually got off pretty light on that run out. Gosh, that river. Why does that river have to hit, you guys? Why does it have to hit where it's a 4 to a straight? You know, if that river is a king, if that river is an ace, or if that river is a queen, or not a jack. But there's a lot of hands there where Caster decides to go ahead and go for value, and we're feeling pretty good about it. Anyway, I'm okay with it.
We are gonna like take over the poker
We got
world.
Maddie Matts 13 with the sub. Thank you so much,
I feel like
man.
our third or fourth Maddie Matt. I feel like
We do have a Maddie Matt, and now we have a Maddie Matts.
Maddie Matt.
So guys, we're in sub chat only just until the final table's up, and all of you subs, you all get an ebook of Poker Tilt. So if you haven't gotten your ebook, check your Twitch messages in the other box. A lot of times it ends up there. Wow, look at Bonefish coming in with a 3x from under the gun. Basically saying to everybody, look, I'm going to call if you shove, but I don't want to. Yeah, pretty crazy move there by Bonefish with 26,000. Leaving himself with 17,000 behind, and that's exactly it. I'm going to call if you shove, but I don't want to. Caster goes ahead and says, okay, call then. And Bonefish does. Gets the double up, and now we got Caster slipping down to 76,000. Of course, Vegas JF is not too happy to see Bonefish survive that all in. We don't love it either, but we don't hate it. You know, the fact is that psychological inflection, it's kind of a good thing when you've got a VPIP that's a little higher than the average. Karma Kiosk saying, first sub, Dutch. Been lurking since the beginning. Karma Kiosk, I really appreciate you being here, man. Thanks so much for that sub. And thank you to Maddie Matts. Thanks for all of our new subs tonight. We had some nice subs tonight. Let me go ahead and take a look at the list. We got Maddie Matts. We got Karma Kiosk. Deadlift Day. Thank you so much, Deadlift Day. K Macchio was a resub. He's been with us for a while. Savage Medic, I Rocks Your Socks, Slaggy, Felt It Again, and Mathematic. You guys are awesome. Mathematics also, I think, is a resub. He's BCLV on the site. We play with him quite a bit. So, guys, we really appreciate you subs. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. We also appreciate all of you guys who have followed the stream tonight. We met our goal of 9,100 follows, which is awesome. And we couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much, all of you guys, for being here. Let's make some money. Let's make some money, you guys. Bless King saying he's got the 8s. Nice, nice read. Chivas USA is like, I think he's got Queen Jack.
I think he has Deuce 4.
Turns out that he has King Jack. I think with Deuce 4 he fires out a C bet. I think that with Queen Jack he fires out a C bet. King Jack, he decides to go ahead and check it and lets me catch up. But I didn't have to catch up because I was way ahead. So MDX goes ahead and takes that with 10-4 off. Babyface Jace. How did that even go? Did Babyface Jace just open limp with Ace-7 and then not even take a stab at it? I think that's what we just saw. Didn't take a stab at it. Instead, checked back and called when Babyface Jace hit his bottom pair on the turn with Ace-7. Not really the biggest fan of Babyface Jace's plays, you guys. Really don't like it. Making the fold here. We'll go ahead and let Slophouse get that one.
Do you want a stick? You want a treat? Hey, Jim's going to bother you a lot, so you're not going to have to listen to her when I'm gone. Dance. Dance. Dance, monkey.
Pat's poker's like, you bet the flop, you double up. Possibly. He probably was going for a check raise there. Probably. Yeah. Stone cold money bubble, so.
All in, Caster.
Vegas JF gets it all in with the best of it. Caster actually has 6 outs here. Does he hit it? No. Vegas JF survives that 4.5 to 1. And Caster now down in the at the bottom, in danger of bubbling this thing. What a reversal! What a reversal for our friend Caster over there with that bull.
We are gonna like take over the poker world.
And we've got Coyote X69 just subscribing. 10th sub of the day. Coyote, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Gosh, Caster, what are you doing, man? What are you doing here? Just opening again, sitting here with 40,000, decides to open again. I think we're going to get out of his way. Drowning stack. He's just bleeding chips. And looks like a raise to me, you guys. So 6,100 we will fire out when it gets to that 3. Hopefully we get through Sergeant Pepper. I'd much rather just get heads up against Babyface Jace here, who tends to make huge overships on flops. I don't really think that we're going to see that right now. Instead, we got Sergeant Pepper 3-betting, something that he doesn't do too often. We're getting 3 to 1 to make the call. I think that we just fold here, you guys. Lyra Fairy just subscribed. Guys, you guys are the best. Coyote X and Lyra Fairy, again, you guys are going to go ahead and get that DRM free digital version of Poker Tilt coming to you, I think right now. I think Xmod's still with us as we try to take this final table down. Oh, shoot, that reminds me. I got to go to the Twitterverse. Did I do this already? No, I didn't.
Nilesy try to remind you.
To Twitter?
Yeah.
To Twitter out? Thank you very much, Nilesy. We got some Twitter love on this. George Henrot saying, my routine every day, multi-tabling Jamie Staples and Jason Somerville deep in tourneys before bed and waking up on the final table with that touch void. Hopefully we just have it keep on going. Let's go ahead and make the raise here, even though we were a little bit worried about fade to black here in the small blind. Queen 10 suited, a little bit too good of a hand to just open fold again. Of course, Sergeant Pepper with the huge stack. Our stack makes a tempting target for you, Sergeant Pepper, as it does to you, Slophouse. Pretty good flop, guys, for Queen 10 of Hearts. Pretty good flop. Let's go ahead and make the C bet against you, Slophouse. If Slophouse check raises us, it's going to be kind of brutal. Here we go. Instead, he makes the call. Checks to us. I guess we check behind. Hope to hit. Not quite the hit we're looking for, guys. We're not ahead of a jack. We're not ahead of an ace. We're really only ahead of flush draws that didn't make it. Now he fires out 8,000, which sure feels like a lame little value bet here. We don't have to be ahead more than like 25% of the time. The problem is I don't think that we are ahead. This looks so much like a value bet where he's got like a... Gosh. It's just not, it's not a bluff. It's not a bluff, so we're done with it. You know, it sucks, but he's not bluffing there. He probably has a weak ace or a weak jack. It's frustrating. And Troper Zero says, who do we think Dutch will be heads up against at this table? I think it's going to be Fade to Black or Sergeant Pepper. Heads up against one of those two guys for all the marbles. That is my prediction here. I will call it. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and just call it Fade to Black. I'm going to get heads up against Fade to Black. So Fade to Black getting re-raised by Caster, who still thinks that he's got the big stack. Somehow Caster gets through. And now Caster has 63,000. Wow. I don't know how you do it, Caster. You move chips pretty well. I don't exactly know how you're able to bully Fade to Black in that spot without Fade to Black just being like, you know what? Spite shove. Teach a little lesson about a $700 bubble. I mean, that's what we're looking at, guys. $651 for 8th place, and 9th place gets absolute nothing. Kick in the pants. We're kind of in danger here. Ace King off. It's going to be too good to make the fold, make the raise. Ace King off under the gun. Caster making a ship. And we're going to call that ship. Bonefish making a ship. We will call that ship. MDX88 making the ship. We will call that ship. Instead we get through, which is just fine by us. Always brutal getting knocked out on Stone Cold Bubble, but you know what? We're tired of 6th place. We're going for first here, guys. We're going for first. So that means that we have to not be afraid of getting knocked out on the Stone Cold Bubble. Bonefish with 10 bigs. MDX sitting here in the small blind. We've got the ace-7 of diamonds. What does MDX do here? Makes a raise. 3x. Well... make the fold. It's a little bit nitty, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Maybe it's a shove. There's a lot in there. MDX is definitely one of these, one of these players that we should be attacking with our stack. If he calls and loses, then he's in danger of being the bubble boy. And this looks pretty good for us. Bonefish, would love to see you get knocked out against Slophouse. Definitely releases the tension, and right now we're the ones under the vice. So, yeah, that's not going to be good for. That's not going to be good for us. It's good for Bonefish. Sitting there with pocket jacks against pocket sevens. Slop House, doubling up Bonefish and putting us in the spot where we're in fifth, I think, after this hand.
Somebody said that you're doing that a lot tonight.
Sorry, guys. Nerve-wracking. This is a nerve-wracking spot. It's a nerve-wracking situation. We're sitting here with 15 big, 16 big blinds on the Stone Cold Bubble in the second biggest tournament of the week on WSOP.com. I want to win this thing. I want our weekend to go well. And if we don't cash in this, then it doesn't go well. If we do cash in this, then it's a positive weekend. So, Ace, Jack suited. Kind of ugly. We got MDX coming in with an open. Would love to see Sergeant Pepper put the pressure on him. No, I'm not playing the guitar. Just chilling out here, waiting for one of these guys to make an ICM disaster mistake. We don't care who wins. We just want it to be bloody. Love Stars wishing me luck. Thank you very much, Love Stars. We got Click You saying it's a good fold to that Queen 10 of Hearts. I think so too, man. Even though we hit that 10. Shamit putting him on a weaker ace. I think that he had a weaker ace. Chivas is like unlucky not to hit his hand. Probably. Rich agrees, like, I think you have to call that 8,000. I don't think so, man. I'm pretty sure that he's value betting there. And value betting with better. I think if he was bluffing, he would make it a little bit more expensive for us to make that call. I mean, he would put a little bit more pressure on us. I don't think I have to call. But maybe. You know, we can second guess ourselves here in about an hour if we don't end up winning this thing. Trichotomy says, came here when I saw the tweet. Take it down, Dutch. Thanks, man. We're going to try. We're going to try. Caster in that big blind. Such a bull you are, Caster. And I'm really kind of disappointed with the way we're seeing Sergeant Pepper kind of give up the bully stack here on the Stone Cold Bubble. I mean, we haven't really seen Sergeant Pepper with a very high VPIP at all. Instead, he's just been kind of folding. We've seen him 3-bet us once. For the most part, not opening. I kind of feel like if you're in Sergeant Pepper's spot, you really should be making opens much more often than he is. Same for Fade to Black, really. I mean, both of these guys have been pretty snug. You know, maybe they're kind of looking at the way it worked out for Caster and looking at Caster as kind of a cautionary tale. So we've had an orbit go by, and we've gone from 63,000 to 60,000. Didn't really play much there. Vegas JF making the shove. We will bow out. Would love to see Castor make a call here. Would love to see Bonefish or MDX88 make a call here. Instead, everyone folds and Vegas JF gets through those blinds and antes, putting himself at risk for a very hurtful bubble that doesn't come. Slophouse making a raise. We will get out of his way. And Castor, interesting call here by Castor. I would have loved to see MDX make a stab at it. Slophouse just making the shove, putting Castor to the test. Castor getting 2-1 on this call. Pretty wet board. Decides to fold and puts himself in a pretty scary spot here with 7 bigs. And you guys, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
You're going super knit.
We've got the unbeatable hand.
Oh God.
Unbeatable hand on the stone cold
No.
bubble. It feels pretty
God.
good, you guys. It feels pretty good.
So what do you do here? Do you just call
I don't think so.
or you raise? Oh God.
Um,
Oh God, I don't know. This is.
I mean, maybe just calling is okay.
No, don't listen to me.
The problem with calling is it induces some of these guys to come along with us. So I think that we just raise, hope to get called by a weaker ace, hope to get called by a smaller pocket pair.
Oh God.
And if Fade to Black decides to just fold here, we're okay with that too. But it's an under the gun +1 raise. A lot of times he's going to make the call with hands like pocket 10s or pocket 9s or pocket 8s, and we're going to be in a real good situation to double up. The problem with making the call there is a lot of times we induce Sergeant Pepper or Vegas JF to go ahead and see a flop with us, and we don't really want to play aces 3-way. We'd rather just go ahead and get it all in there pre-flop if we can. The other problem is that I mean, the nice thing about calling there is if Sergeant Pepper folds and Vegas JF folds, a lot of times Fade to Black is going to go ahead and follow up, with a lot of pressure post-flop. With a lot of pressure. So it's kind of back and forth where I'm not really sure what to do. We pick up 50% of our stack without having to fade a flop. I'm okay with that. That's not such a bad result. But it would have been nicer to double up plus the blinds and antes. So maybe a call is more in order, even if it means having to fade an extra big blind call from Sergeant Pepper. A lot of times calling also induces a squeeze play by Sergeant Pepper, but we really haven't seen Sergeant Pepper make those kind of plays. So just kind of hoping that Fade to Black has like an ace-queen, ace-king, or like pocket jack's hand where he's going to make the call and we're 4.5-1. Anyway. That's good. It puts us back kind of out of range of bubble, kind of out of bubble range. Babyface Jace and Castor both looking a little bit in danger. We have less than Bonefish, but if you actually look at our position, he has to hit the big blind before we do. So we're in better shape than Bonefish as well. So it says 6th, but our actual position is probably more like 5th of 9, the way that this table is. And I really like where we are, guys. I really do. I feel like we're in a pretty good shape as far as chip position and table position. I mean, it is kind of a tough ace queen off. What do we do? What do we do, guys? I think it's it's got to be a raise. It's got to be a raise, and we're going to go ahead and make it the 10K raise here. Would love it if it just gets through. I have no idea what we do if Slophouse decides to make a big ship. The flop comes Queen Deuce 3. Pretty good flop for us. Pretty good flop for us. What do you do, Slophouse? He makes the check. Part of me wants to check behind. but we're not going to. We're going to go ahead and fire out. Hope he doesn't have a 2 or a 3, or have a set of 2s or a set of 3s. I really just don't think he does. We'll fire out. Hope that he has like a queen jack and check raises, or hope that he has like pocket 8s and check raises. Put some pressure on us. We'll get out of the way with jack 9 off. Cope Aesthetic saying, note to self, make moves on Dutch at the final table bubble. That is a good note to go ahead and tell yourself. A lot of times it's going to work, especially when I'm in this situation, in middle of the pack, with a rather large bubble looming. Fade to black, firing out. Caster sitting here with 42,000. 35,000 you can ship here, and then fade to black has to call, getting 2 to 1. Making the fold, guys, a little bit nitty, maybe. A little bit nitty. Pocket 8s. Under the gun +1. Michelle's saying, "Oh, that is nitty as hell." Well, a lot of times we're gonna raise there and get 3-bet and put in a really uncomfortable situation by Sergeant Pepper and Fade to Black or Slophouse. So instead, we just decided to fold. I mean, maybe we lose a little bit of equity, maybe. But again, we're saying, spots not hands, and pocket 8s looks like a good hand, but I just don't like the spot.
Well, I guess you're right. The flop didn't come your way anyway, so I'm results oriented.
Yeah, we can be results oriented.
I am. You're not.
You know what we have to do now? We have to change the night bot. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. I'll do it.
Well, you need to learn how to do that, so.
Yep.
Unbeatable.
Unbeatable.
Four now? Has it been 4 already?
Yeah, 4.
Oh, wow. So
We got Matty Matt 316 chilling out with us on the stream, saying, "I've got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottles of whiskey for the way." Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I don't know if you guys realize how old that song is.
I am too.
Home fry. Shocked he didn't fold the aces. I know, we've been playing really nitty. Really nitty. Wow, Sergeant Pepper, looking at this spot, having no idea what to do. Instead of just like shipping, he just check calls. What do you do now here, Sergeant Pepper? I mean, there's 137,000 in the middle.
That's a lot of chips.
And, you just let Fade to Black sit here and make the shove. I can't imagine Fade to Black makes that shove with worse than 2 pair here. So what do we put Fade to Black on? Pocket 10s, probably. Mountain Jack, love this stream, such valuable information. Mountain Jack, thank you very much, man. We really appreciate you being here. And just like that, Fade to Black takes the, just seizes the chip lead from Sergeant Pepper. Do we think Fade to Black was bluffing there? I don't think so. I think Fade to Black was playing pretty timid pre-flop just to make sure that the flop came favorable. And when it did, he went for Value Town. I don't think that Sergeant Pepper can check there to induce a bluff ever, not in this spot. So Sergeant Pepper making the check, Fade to Black, his position and the stack position really gives him a good opportunity to value bet thinner than he would be able to if he was out of position against Sergeant Pepper. So Sergeant Pepper now, a little bit of a drowning stack, makes the raise. We'll see what happens. I'm tempted to make a little 3-bet. And guys, again, thanks for the Twitter love. We got a couple of you giving the retweets. Travis Hertzing giving a retweet. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. We had some good retweets tonight. We're making the fold, guys. Felipe Gaitan giving us the retweet. Thank you for that. Jay Jones giving us a retweet. And Poker Mindset Coach giving us a retweet. You guys are the best. Really appreciate it. So I guess if it goes fold, 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 then we ship into Vegas JF. And what do we do if Castor makes a ship here for 7 bigs? It's tempting. Pretty tempting, Castor. We're going to get out of your way, though. And that's pretty good for us. Pretty good for us. It would have been better if Vegas JF's Ace-King held up against Castor's Ace-10. I think we would have rather that happen. But it doesn't matter. That's bloody enough. Vegas JF now sitting here with less than 3 big blinds. It's going to be pretty hard for him to avoid the money bubble. Babyface Jace folds, fade to black. What do you do? Opens probably.
I like the little net that they have. That is really cute, the net.
Yeah, let's just make the ship here. I don't really feel like giving Sergeant Pepper an opportunity to come over the top of us. If he snap calls, we're in kind of scary shape. Yeah. Instead, he folds, so that's good.
Knit. I like the knit. Isn't a knit a bird too, or no?
Wow. Castor coming in here. Just raising. Just raising.
He plays really aggressive.
He sure is. I mean, he plays like he's got the big stack.
He plays like he's a bull.
He does. I mean, he's quite the bully, and it's like a second grader trying to bully all the junior high school kids. I mean, he's sitting here with not that great of a stack, and just putting his head down and like bullying the table. So far, it's been working for him, making the fold here. And Jay Jones, 1418, talking about that pocket eights open fold. Little nitty maybe. But Jay Jones, thanks again for that Twitter shout out. Really appreciate it, guys. If you aren't following the stream yet, it's just that little heart button right underneath the video. It'd really mean a lot to us if you make that call. Fade to black, getting a pretty big sweet ass pot from Slophouse, flopping those trip threes. I mean, this is why you don't want to open limp Slophouse under the gun with your, wow. Just open limped under the gun with that king-queen suited. And fade to black, I mean, you should make the shove with pretty much any two. Yeah, and he does. Slophouse sitting here with 51,000 should basically fold any two. I mean, there's very few hands that he should look down and think this is a defense spot. We've got Babyface Jace and we got Vegas JF. Both short stacked. Babyface Jace. This is probably going to be good for you. I can't imagine Castor's folding anything. Why would you? Getting 4.5 to 1. For fuck's sake, Castor, make the call.
Well, he's probably
10-6 off. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got to make the call there. He gets the 6. Can we dodge an ace for 7 or 9? We do. That's going to be our bubble. Vegas JF, casualty of war. You got it all in there with the ace-king versus the ace-10. 3.5 to 1. Castor put the beat on you and got rewarded for the shove.
Do you change your title or no?
From final table to in the money?
No, to final table.
Oh.
No, I'm not seeing the money. Just keep it to final table. Congratulations, everyone.
Yep, congrats, everybody. And here we go. Now the final table plays out. And what's going to happen is a huge sigh of relief where we probably see Babyface Jace shoving light. We probably see Bonefish shoving light. Slophouse shoving light.
School owes it to you.
No kidding. Cowboys Full saying, Dutch, just this last week I cashed in 2 tournaments. I owe it to you, no question. Cowboys Full, I'll take a little bit of credit if you feel like you're learning something from the stream. I definitely feel like you can get better pretty quick at this day and age just by watching other people, and there's a lot to be learned from the Twitch streams. I like to think that I help a little bit, but I mean, you're the one making the plays, Cowboys Full. You're the one here working on your game, so can't take more than just a very, very small amount of credit for your success. Nice job, and I wish you the best of luck on your poker journey. It's going to be pretty cool actually seeing you here in Vegas across from some final tables. So, awesome job, man. Really like seeing that. What do we do with this? King, Queen, offsuit, fade to black coming in at us. And I think a good chunk of the time we're ahead. I think that we get through a good chunk of the time here. So let's go ahead and take a shot. And we'll let it get down to 23 and hopefully not get called. But when we do get called, we'll hope to just be at a coin flip spot. How's the look, fade to black? Didn't snap call. That's good. I think this is probably going to put us up above the 110,000 mark. He does make the fold. So king, queen offsuit, good enough. When you're in these kind of spots, I say this a lot, don't attack a drowning stack. What does that mean? Which stacks do you attack? Well, you attack the spots that have the most to lose. And in this situation, in this table, it's fade to black and caster. So, my wee is green, saying, come on, you got to win this, man. I'm going to try, dude. I'm going to try. Really trying hard. MDX making the ship. With love for Sergeant Pepper, just snap call, and caster just over snap call. Aces, kings, queens, aces, queens, queens, whatever. I don't care who wins these confrontations, just as long as they're bloody. Caster looks like he's going to dump it. And that's going to put MDX above the 100,000 mark, and it's going to put us in effectively third place, even though we're slightly behind Caster, for the same reason that when we looked at Bonefish, we kind of said, well, we're kind of behind him, but not really. Caster has to hit the big blind before we do, which means for half of these hands, he's ahead of us. The other half, we're ahead of him. So we're 3rd out of 8, you guys, basically. And where is that lobby? Here it is, guys. This was the bubble, $651 bubble.
Oh, you don't have the money up there, babe.
Yeah, I meant to have it up. Sorry, guys. Caster again, just bullying the table. Babyface Jay sitting here with his last, 3.5 big blinds.
Did you just take it off or something? You forgot. You must have. You putting it up though? Put it back up there. Or no?
Yeah, I put it back. Sorry for having it off, guys. Okay, MDX making the raise. We'll go ahead and get out of your way. Leave it to someone else to bully you. Babyface Jays. I mean, pretty good flop for Babyface Jays. Does he get there? And no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. We have another casualty. We go up the pay jump a little bit. I mean, we're not really trying to just go up the pay jump here, but we're fine with it. We'll move up. We're okay with that. Pocket tens. We've got 15 bigs. We will go ahead and make the open here. And yeah, we're not getting away from this hand. Aces, kings, queens, jacks. I mean, there's 4 hands we're worried about. We'll watch fade to black go ahead and try to move us off of it. We won't move off. Say we got slop house making the defense. Checks to us. We will go ahead and fire out the same amount. I don't love it. Can't be afraid of the monster under the bed, slop house. What do we do now? What do we do now to your check raise all in shove? Is there any chance that pocket tens is ahead? Probably not. Make the fold. So losing a little bit there to Slop House. Here we are with pocket threes, 7 players. We just lost a good chunk of our stack. We'll make the fold with that too. So Sergeant Pepper opening, fade to black, putting on the pressure. I like fade to black's 3-bet there. Doesn't really have to have much. Sergeant Pepper is says no, makes the ship, and a strong standing up to fade to black. Makes me very happy we made that fold with the pocket threes, you guys. We got Travis Hertzing, give us a little Twitter love. Oh, you guys. God, I love this. I love this feeling right here, being at a final table. Second biggest tournament of the week, you guys. This is, it's a big deal. A lot of money at stake. I mean, we got 40-something hundred up top. Ace-5 offsuit, under the gun. Do we make the Do we make the raise? We could. We could make the raise. MDX88's been playing pretty snug. I think the problem with making the raise there is a lot of times we're going to get played back by Castor, who has just been 3-betting so light, has been loving applying pressure on everybody at the table. You got to love it. You got to love it. He was a bony fish for a long time. Now he's just a bull. Wow, and everyone just gives MDX88 the walk. Surprised to see it. So if it goes fold, 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 and bonefish shoves, it's going to be a call from us. Sergeant Pepper making the raise. I don't know why. I don't like it, you guys. I don't like it. Sergeant Pepper's been so tight at this table, not really doing much. I think we're gonna just make the fold here. Because what's the other alternative? Shoving and probably getting called. Calling and hoping to flop an ace and not really even knowing if it's good. We'll make the fold. Wait for a better spot. Slop House making that 2.5x. We'll get out of his way. And we're sitting here with 8 big blinds, you guys. But if you look around the table, we're pretty much at that point where everyone is somewhat short. You know, no one has been really wanting to get knocked out at this point. We have.
Fish will have to shove soon.
I mean, he's got 3 bigs, so yes, he's going to have to shove pretty soon.
Castor had to get the phone there.
Pippin87 saying, Dutch, if you win this, it's hookers and blow. Pretty much going to just quit my job and travel, Pippin87. Wow, they just all give fade to black a walk. It could have been. You know, maybe we make the ship there with our King 5 suited. Castor making the raise under the gun. Maybe that's a spot too. You know, it's hard for Castor to call 50,000. Slop House. What do you do in the big blind? Makes the raise. Oh, it's such a rough raise there. RC Smith just subscribed. Great to see you in the stream, man. Thank you so much for clicking on that sub button. Oh, and this is a disaster for Castor. He's got a 2 out here. Can he hit it? No, he does not hit it. Castor is out the door. Ace King versus aces. I can't really blame Castor for making the shove. Hey, RC Smith. Great to see you in the stream. Thank you so much for clicking on that sub button. Equity rising, gentlemen. Equity rising. King, queen off. 6 players left. 8 big blinds. Let's do it.
Lucky sub there.
Do we do it here?
No, I said,
Yeah, screw it. Lucky sub, that's right. RC Smith, you're going to go ahead and get an ebook version of my book, Poker Tilt. Thank you very much for being here in the stream. And thank you so much for clicking on that sub button. Okay, so we get called by fade to black. He's got the ace-10. We're going to need a little bit of help. Not what we're looking for. Let's see, a 10 or a heart. Come on, hit it. And we don't hit it. So what do we do? What do we go out here? 940. Missing out on a $280 jump there. 6th place finish.
No. There's 6.
And we're getting laughed at by the girlfriend. Frustrating. Maybe it's a fold. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's a fold. I really don't know. I think that king queen offsuit. We're sitting here with 8 bigs. Kind of guaranteed to move up the pay scale if we make the fold. But we're also going to be able to buy ourselves an orbit and make it hard for, you know, it's not easy to, you know, have one of these guys call us. I don't really think that we're not trying to fold our way to 5th or fold our way to 4th. It looked like the right spot. We got called. We had to catch up against ace 10, but we're not in that bad a shape. A lot of times we get weaker aces to fold. You know, I think that fade to black probably. Well, I mean, fade to black had the big stack, so I'm not really too surprised. But guys, what are we gonna do? It's 11. It's 11 at night. We just got knocked out at the final table. The weekend sprint starts in 4 minutes, so we're gonna jump into that. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. Shutting that down. A 6th place finish. Now we are getting back into it. Starting stack. Right back in it. 1500 weekend sprint. This is going to be the last thing we play tonight. Well, we might play the Midnight Mayhem too. And let's go ahead and turn off that subscriber chat. Let me go ahead and get to that. Thanks again for being here, guys. If you haven't clicked on that follow button, please do. Yeah, really appreciate you guys. Migraine Boys saying good run, Boyd. Thank you very much, Migraine Boys. Deadlift Day, great run, Dutch. Was a pleasure to watch, man. Deadlift Day, thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate it. Should have that King 3 suited IMO, says Rod Loblaw. Yeah, mayhaps. Mayhaps. Making 6 sexy. God. II Barcode GG, he says. Thank you, II Barcode. Good run. Dutch says, just got a bong. Thank you very much. Just got a bong. So, Poker Mindset Coach, having a good night, taking off for the night. Thank you very much, Poker Mindset Coach. Once again, thank you very much for that package. Really appreciate it. And Gitmo Oz, 6th again. OMG, wrecked. Check mark is what he says. Dan wrecked, yes. Dan, LOL, yes. It's a good day. It's a good day. 6th is not that bad. Final table, 2 of the 3 biggest tournaments of the week this weekend. So it's been a good weekend. Could have been better. Definitely could have been worse. Making the fold. And Hutch Poker pretty much spelling it out. When you get the final table, anything less than first is frustrating. You're absolutely right. There's been some good studies on this in sports sociology showing that the deeper you get into it in a competitive sport tournament type structure, the worse it actually feels. They found that silver medalists at the Olympics are actually less satisfied with their place than bronze medalists, and pretty much down the line. It was an honor just to compete. Seems to apply more for the lower competitors than the ones who almost make it. You know, so look at this. We got Flatty in the stream with us, sitting there in the taking his seat at the small blind. Pull up a chair, my friend. Also, B. Shrever 5 right to our left. I mean, we got to get a little lucky to win. A lot of that luck comes in getting in the right spots. Let's go ahead and fire out. Ace-King still figures to be ahead on this board. We got on Pacific Avenue deciding to go ahead and make a raise. And I don't really think that we're going to just auto-fold here. We make the call. Because if we're going to fold Ace-King, how far are we going to take it? And this is pretty much the same thing as Pocket 2s. Same thing as Pocket 3s. Pretty much the same thing as Ace-4. So if we're folding Ace-King, how far up are we going to fold? And Pocket 10s holding on. Nice hand there on Pacific Avenue. Kind of surprised that you didn't take a pre-flop stab at that with the 5th best hand. Just got a bong. I don't really think that we're getting folds around the table with that king-queen hand. I think that we're probably going to get called with the big blind, who's sitting there with 3 big blinds, and a lot of times we're going to have a dominating position against him. When we get called, you know, I don't think it always has to be a big ace. You know, the king-queen isn't really... I see a lot of Jay Carver shoving with king-queen and Jamie Staples shoving with king-queen. A lot of times they do it a little heavier than I would. You know, when I look down at like 17 big blinds, it doesn't really feel like a good shove stack. But 8 big blinds, king-queen performs pretty well. It's going to be a shove. I mean, you look at pretty much any push-fold chart, it's going to say shove 6-handed at the final table. You're already in the money. You're in small little jumps up there. 8 big blinds on the under the gun +1. It's a shove, and I don't even really have to think about it. I just know that it is. It's not going to perform too well. Maybe you only get called with big aces, but it's fine just picking up the blinds and antes there. The king queen kind of serves as a blocker. It also serves as insurance when you get called with smaller pocket pairs. It only performs poorly against aces, kings, queens, ace king, and ace queen. And even against queens and ace queen, it doesn't perform that poorly. You know, really, you're only in that bad, huge shape, really, really bad shape when you're up against like, aces, kings, or ace king. So you're really, really worried about 3 hands. It performs pretty poorly against a few more hands, 5 hands. Everything else, it's okay. So when we get called, he has ace-10. A lot of times we're getting weaker aces to fold, which is great for us. We're able to pick up a pretty big chunk of our stack without seeing a flop, which we're always okay with. When we have to see a flop, we usually have some pretty nice equity there, so it's okay. Rich agrees, like king queen is fine to shove. Waiting for the short stack to bust is fine too. It depends on what you're playing for. I guess if we were playing for anything but 6th, maybe it's a fold. And Blaze Poker, I was aware, 3.5 bigs. We almost, folded, but then the more we thought about it, the more like, what am I going to do? Fold my way to 5th? Is that really what we're trying to do here? No. If we fold here, then we have to hit that big blind and the small blind. We're down to 6 bigs, and starting to look at not really having fold equity ourselves. And if it turns out that he actually doesn't, that he actually doubles through, then we're even more inclined to just fold our way to 5th, which isn't what we want to be at. We made the shove. We live with it. I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm okay with it. And Miroslav, good to see you in the stream, man. Privyet says, I'm playing at the same time and motivated as blank while watching Dutchy. I hope that's an F word or an SH word and not an ass word. Motivated as ass while watching Dutchy. But I think it's a compliment, so I'll take it as such. Thank you very much for being here. Mean PC saying, to put it in perspective, my first job I made $3.35 an hour. That turning you made about a month of those wages. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I wish that it went a little bit deeper, but it's okay. Making the fold here. Pickle Man 0 says, was definitely a good play. Most of us watching would be happy with a 1K payout any given night. A win is always awesome. I'll tell you, Pickle Man, a grand don't come for free. I'm happy with a 1K payout too. I'm happy with it. It's just frustrating. Not as frustrating as bubbling, I guess. Trick Daddy says, love you, man. Trick Daddy, I love you too, dude. Says, but for at least a little while when you're in 6th place, no more all-ins. Yeah, maybe that's the right thing to do. Evil Penguin with the fist bump. Thank you, man. We got D Smith 3427 says, do you agree with the statement JRB made about how tournaments are mentally brutal due to the fact that you will lose over 90% of the time even if you play second? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a good in the money percentage, a great in the money percentage for tournaments is, in the high teens. So every day, especially live, you get up, you get suited up, you get showered, shaved, breakfast, getting all ready, get yourself mentally prepared, playing all day, and it's like every day you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna get knocked out of a tournament today. Yep, getting suited up to go get knocked out, because that's what happens 80-something% of the time. And then even when you don't get knocked out, even when you do cash, you're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna get a lot more unsatisfying min cashes than you do final tables. And when you do get to the final table, you're gonna get a lot more, fifths and sixths and thirds and seconds and fourths than you do get firsts. There's really only one spot where you're super truly happy, and it's just so elusive. For some players, it never comes if they focus on live tournaments, big stakes live tournaments. I can't really think of any super big outright win that JRB's had in the last few years. He's gotten awfully close. Second place in that the Players Championship, pretty good spot there, JRB. But he wasn't looking like he was smiling when he got knocked out. So let's raise it up. We got Chip Chump sitting out. So we'll give it a little shot. And what is the prize payout for this tournament, you guys? It looks like we're looking at $750 for first as it stands. Shoot, sorry guys. Making the fold. Let's go and get that weekend sprint. Down underneath the overlay. One of these days I'll get this a little bit more streamlined. CMAC85 asking, hey Dutch, what is your schedule for next week? I'm glad you asked, CMAC. I'm streaming every day. Every single day next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the whole week. Eximo is going up to Seattle to go see her parents. So I'm going to start every stream a little late, 7 o'clock. Probably start with that $30 rebuy and add-on and see how it goes. James Bear is saying the only reason I would have considered folding King Queen there is because of how short the big blind is there, but I'm still doing it 90% of the time. Yeah, I mean I'm doing it pretty much 100% of the time. I think that I can see the argument. You know, making the fold there is you're going to watch that big blind get busted out a good chunk of the time there. But you know, by making the shove, you're actually coming into the big blind and kind of doing your part for busting out that small stack. You know, I mean, he's going to be kind of in a spot where he has to call, and King Queen does pretty good against a random hand. You know, a lot of times you're going to have him dominated with with a weaker kicker to a king or a queen, and when you don't, almost all the time you're going to have overcards. So I don't think that it's a fold there. You know. Yeah, I'm not going to think about it too much, though, guys. We live with the decisions we make. I don't think it's a fold. I think that it would be a mistake to fold that hand, letting someone else try to take out a random hand with maybe their own random version of it. And then finding herself with, 6 big blinds in the button, playing six-handed. Making the fold. Making the fold. I like that Guy PogChamp emoticon barcode, and thanks for the GG. I don't think that folding the King Queen is right when you're six-handed. I think that if we were nine-handed and the bubble is 8, then it's definitely right to fold the King Queen. If someone else had raised and we didn't have fold equity, then it's definitely right to go ahead and fold the King Queen and take the $280 money jump. Making the shove, most of the time we don't get called except by the big blind, who is also the 3 big blind stack. We do our part to go ahead and knock him out. And I'm fine with it. I do it every time. Greek Hero 12 says, Dutch, you lose ICM. The Bonefish had 3 big blinds. Greek Hero, no, if you're folding there with 8 big blinds for, that tiny little jump between 6th and 5th, you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you, I guarantee you, if we ran that through an ICMizer, the ICMizer isn't going to say fold here. The big blind has 3 bigs. He's probably going to make the call, and we're going to be in a dominating position against him so often. We're better off doing that than folding and letting some random hand try to run him down, or worse, everyone realizing that he has to call, or just folding, giving him the walk. When they make the ship with like the Jack 10 suited and he calls with like the Ace 3 and doubles up, then we're not going to get better spots than that, and we are playing for first. It's so top heavy at that point, where you look at 3rd and you look at 4th and you look at 5th and you look at 6th, and they're all right around the same. It's not really until you get that 2nd and 1st spot that you're really feeling good about the pay difference. Maybe with other payout structures you'd be right that it's a fold with King Queen in that situation where you're at the final table 6-handed. 8 big blinds under the gun plus 1, and the big blind has 3 big blinds. In other payout structures, maybe you're right. In this payout structure, not a chance. Not a chance. And Greek Hero 12, I would challenge you to go find some sort of ICM analyzer that would say that's a fold. That's because I don't think you're going to be able to find one. But I do like the way that you're thinking. ICM, you're thinking about you're thinking about trying to increase the expected value over the long haul, which is the right way to think about it. A-bar0907, good to see you in the stream. 2 months in a row. Thanks for sticking with us, man. Troll goes ahead and picks up a little bit of equity on that hand. The 9-6 versus the pocket 8s gets a little bit of money there. Nice hand there, Flatty. Have you heard of Dmitry Urbanovich? Yes, I have. Isn't he the one who got second to Eric Seidel on the high roller? I think that's the same one. Gotta love Flatty. Flatty is right here. Iceman Kiwi asking, do you find it hard to play poker on stream with 600 people watching you, Dutch? Good luck. Iceman Kiwi, thank you for the good luck. Appreciate it. No. I find it nice. It's really cool hanging out with you guys, playing poker, talking about ideas, having to talk through my my thought processes. It keeps me in check, stabilizes me, makes me think about my game and re-examine stuff. I mean, certainly a lot of the criticism of my game from you guys is constructive in nature. When we've got we've got players who are saying, like Greek Hero talking about making the fold there, and Richie Gree saying making the fold. It makes me re-examine the game, and then I have to actually explain why a fold isn't right. And then actually wonder, am I right here? Maybe a fold is right. Maybe they're right. But how do we figure it out? How do we find out if they're right or not? All these are good questions to talk about on the stream. So I appreciate everybody here. I really do. I appreciate all of the constructive criticism. Sometimes it's not constructive. Sometimes it's just like, oh, you're a fish, Dutch. And that's okay. It's okay. We ban him pretty quick and we say goodbye because I'm way past the point of feeling like I have to prove myself at the poker table. I really am. I've been surviving in this game since the late 90s, early 2000s. 3 World Series of poker bracelets behind me, so I'm comfortable with my skill level. I know that I can beat the game. But it doesn't mean that I play perfectly. So I like re-examining my my plays, and I appreciate bouncing off these ideas with you guys. I really do. Even though when I disagree, it does make me re-examine it, and sometimes I come around. If for example, like with that ICM play, that the Greek Hero 12 challenge, when I said I challenge you to find an ICM analyzer which says that this is a good fold, I mean it. I'm not just like saying that as a some rhetorical fluff. I would love to see it, because if I'm wrong, I would like to know, and I'd appreciate your help in improving my own game. So Rod Loblaw, guys, I'm not trying to fire shots at JRB. I like JRB. I like Bobby. I like Jean Robert. I think he's a cool dude. I'm just saying, I don't remember him actually outright winning anything for a long time. Let me find out. Career titles 3, so he's won something. Let's look at his career titles here. Making the fold here with the 9-3 off. Looks like he won a tournament, a $125 tournament back in May 6th, 2001, for $6,450. He won a No Limit Hold'em championship at Winning the Green back in 2005. Lone Silver Wolf 85 just subscribed. Lone Silver Wolf, big fist bump to you, man. Welcome to the crew. You are going to go ahead and get a book. I'm going to make sure that you get it after the stream's over because Exomal's not here. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. You're awesome. Welcome to the crew. Yeah, sending you over a DRM free digital version of my book, Poker Tilt, for your Kindle, your Nook, your iPad, all the different versions, PDF, EPUB, Mobi. If you don't have a smartphone or a tablet, you can still watch it on your desktop with an app. I like Comic Rack, guys. If you have a PDF version of my book and don't have anything to read it in, I prefer Comic Rack. I think it's a pretty good reader. Lone Silver Wolf, I'll tell you what, man. We wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be here without you. It really means a lot that you're actually willing to go ahead and click on that sub button, that you and others like you are willing to go ahead and say, this stream is okay. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and support this guy and say, here is $5 to you. Definitely makes my night a little bit better. So thank you so much, man. And I'm here for you, dude. If you need anything, if you have any questions or thoughts, or if there's any way I can make your life a little bit better, please do let me know. And Lone Silver Wolf 85 saying, just because you said you were streaming every day next week, thank you very much, man. Make sure to capitalize that F. So, what do we got? We've got Pocket Nines in the Big Blind, and we also have another title for JRB in the Omaha High-Low back in 2003. A $100 buy-in, $5,750 for first in that. So JRB hasn't won a tournament for over a decade. Over a decade. Does that mean he's a bad player? No. Not at all. I mean, he just got second in one of the biggest tournaments of the year, really one of the biggest tournaments in the history of poker, and one of the toughest tournaments. You know, the Players Championship 6-Max. JRB is constantly playing that that big game at Aria, the 200-400 mixed. Very good at social engineering. I think that, yeah. Wow, look at that. Bullet 002 making a min raise to Louis Vegas's limp. And I don't really know what to make of that min raise, guys. So let's go ahead and we'll make the call here. King Queen against Pocket Nines. I like it. I don't like that, though. I don't like it when he hits one of those overcards. And I'm crazy, no. There's lots of things we could have argued about that final table, for sure. For sure. Andrew was saying title is covering up hands for the top two players, Dutch. Let me see what's going on. I think that you're right here. What do we need to do here? Hold on, guys. I messed up. I messed up our overlay. Well, half pot it. And I'll fold. You know, I have no idea why my overlay isn't working here. Guys, we're going to be right back. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with my overlay. Okay. I believe that should work. So good looking out there, man. Good looking out. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God, you guys. Pocket aces. Let's go ahead and make the raise here. The unbeatable hand. The unbeatable hand. We will make the raise with love for B. Shriver on Pacific Avenue, where Troll decided to go ahead and play back at us. This is beautiful. B. Shriver decides to go ahead and look us up on the button. So against two opponents, we don't have to always continuation bet. I think that by making the check there, it's a little bit more convincing. Well, let's go ahead and call. We'll make it 1695, so we can kind of represent that we're just going to go ahead and get down to 3,000. We get called by a jack, we get called by a 9, we get called by a 7. So, Troll, Flatty, nice fold. Bobby Big Buy-In saying, I like the way you handle yourself after busting. I think your metagame is better than ever. Maximizing the time you stay positive must be one of those edges that separates the wheat from the chaff. Chaff? Bobby Big Buy-In continues, one suggestion, consider pre-recording videos to play immediately after you bust out. Like music videos? Like happy music videos? I don't know. I don't exactly know what kind of music, what kind of happy music videos you have in mind, Bobby. But that's maybe not such a bad idea. In fact, I would challenge you to go ahead and record a couple videos for me to go ahead and play immediately after a bust out. Thank you very much for the constructive criticism and suggestion of the stream, Bobby Big Buy-In, and also the compliment. Oh, you guys. Now I gotta go to, now I gotta up that ace is not cracked meter. So Rod Loblaw saying, not trying to clown JRB Dutch, but seriously, he is being backed, but how does JRB get people to buy him into 10K and 50K events? Is it his pimp game? He was a nightclub manager. It seems negative EV. Why not Russ getting that love? I think it's because people think he is Vince Vaughn. It's pretty funny, Rod Loblaw. Look, JRB is a positive player in a lot of events, no question about it. And he just took down second in that Players' Championship, which pretty much proves that he can compete with the best in the world. It's pretty hard to be down after that huge score that he just had this summer. You know, so I do think that he is an incredible social engineer. He definitely makes people like him, makes people want to help him out. I personally have put him in, have had pieces of him in events because I like him and I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. I didn't actually get, a positive return on it, but that's besides the point. I do think that he's a positive player, and I think that he's been around the game so long. It's Yeah, I think that he's great. I think he's great. Got Acid Wave in the stream. Great to see you, man. Tada86 says, I do have to say this chat is one of the better ones I've seen. I'm going to have to agree with you, Toda86. I think it's awesome. Tricky the Tiger saying JRB isn't backed anymore. He won almost 1 million playing cash games over the last year. Who's to say, Tricky the Tiger? You don't really know. You don't really know what's in someone's bank account, and it doesn't even matter. There's always going to be a game too big and a tournament too big, and JRB plays those tournaments and those games. So I'd be surprised if he had his full action in that Players' Championship. In fact, I'm pretty confident that he did not have 100% of himself in that. Maybe, though. Yeah, future governor he is. He's incredibly good at social engineering. On Pacific Avenue, beating B. Shriver's unbeatable hand. Sorry to see it, my friend. So Toda86 saying, why do you call Ace an unbeatable hand? I'm not very experienced in poker. Well, Toda86, it's because pocket aces is impossible to beat. Once you have pocket aces, it never gets cracked. We've been playing poker for, the better part of 2 decades. Is that true? Yeah, the better part of 2 decades, and I've never seen pocket aces cracked. So, yeah, I mean, we've had it 5 times in a row without getting it cracked, so... Spoiler? Spoiler. I don't know what On Pacific Avenue is talking about, being like, oh, I just own that kid. Really? You're going to say on Pacific Avenue that you own B. Shriver 5? No. No, you don't. And I know you don't because I don't recognize your name on Pacific Avenue, but B. Shriver 5 is a champion. He's always making it deep. I bet that he has one of the best records here on WSOP.com. You, sir, do not. Let me go ahead and take a look. WSOPstats.com. What are we looking at here? Where's WSOP stats? We're looking at WSOP. On Pacific Avenue, jeez. Calling B. Shriver a nit? B. Shriver is so far from a nit on Pacific Avenue. It's okay. Actually, you know what, Shriver? This guy's tilting me. I'm going to go ahead and just mute that dude. Ace-9 off suit against Tranny Envy. Yeah, I feel like Ace-9 off is probably going to be ahead of what Tranny Envy is min-raising here. And even if it's not, we're going to go ahead and put ourselves in a position to take it post-flop. So we get through. Poker Mindset Coach. I do remember Chino Ream winning the that Epic Poker League first event. It was awesome. It was great seeing it, and then it caused that huge controversy when the Epic Poker League was like, what should we do with Chino? Should we ban him? The Epic Poker League Ethics Committee, what a joke. What a joke. Anyway, I love Chino. I love Chino so much that if he called me up and was like, Dutchalicious, Duchess, what's up, man? Listen, I'm kind of in a bad spot. You think you could shoot me some cash? I'd be like, Chino, here is $50 for you, my friend. Pay it back when you can. Oh, no, Dutchy, I'm going to need a little bit more, man. $50 isn't even going to get me started. Sorry, Chino. $50 is all I can do. But I know that you have a long list of friends who are pretty much in the same boat as I am. Surveillance Tower is saying, I have no idea what I'm watching. I've never played poker. I want to learn. I just have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dutch. Any way to explain this better to someone that's never played? Or can you tell me someone that explains the game in simple terms? Surveillance Tower, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not your Google. I'm not your internet butler. Just do a Google search for how to play poker, dude. If you want to know how to play, you're at the wrong place, because this is kind of an intermediate to advanced level type stream where I've been playing the game for 20 years. 3 World Series of Poker champions behind me. Championships. Can you really call a prelim a championship, though? Can you just say, yeah, I am a World Series of Poker bracelet winner? That means 3-time World Series of Poker champion. I don't know. Probably not really. Though we did see David Danishkar say that on his Fox News interview. He was like, I am the World Series of Poker champion. It's like, can you really call a prelim a championship? Yeah, I guess so. No one's going to really argue that David Danishkar is a World Series of Poker champion. Not the World Series of Poker champion, but I didn't know we could do that. I guess we can. So Surveillance Tower, just do a little Google search for how to play. If you want a glossary, I'm sure that there's some pretty good glossaries out there. Let me find one for you really quick here. I will be your internet butler. Glossary of poker terms on Wikipedia. There you go, buddy. There you go. I will say this, though, Surveillance Tower. I'm not trying to say I don't appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Go ahead and click on that follow button for me. It doesn't cost you anything. You can go ahead and I'm sure that you're going to be able to pick up a lot by watching some of these Twitch streams. And then, play a couple free rolls, man. I'll tell you what. I would say check out. We're going to probably be doing some some home leagues here very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a little skin of Hog Wild Poker up, while Exmo is out of Vegas. So we're going to have some free rolls probably on the stream. You can play some poker, win real money. Until then, check out some of the free rolls on like SWC Poker. Just type in a little search in Google. Where can I play free poker for real money? And you're going to have some options: Hog Wild Poker, NLOP, Aces Play Poker, and then all of the the U.S. facing online card rooms are going to have free rolls. I don't really want to send too many people there for the real money, just because it's usually going to be illegal to play real money online unless you're in one of the 3 states, Nevada, New Jersey, Delaware, that have opened it up. Look at Golf Susie Q getting that unbeatable hand. Second time we've seen that unbeatable hand cracked. Better you than me, my friend. Golf Susie Q. We got to go ahead and keep our streak intact. 20-year streak without having it beat. Making the raise. And we got Flatty. Moved right back to us. And Jessica86W asking Flatty, hey, what's up? Hey, Jessica, stop open limping and talk to me. She. Okay, Flatty. It's not enough to make us fold. It's less than 2.5x, so I don't get to fold with dignity here, and I don't like making the call, but screw it. We've got some implied odds here, and hit that flop pretty hard. Hit it like a nail with a hammer. Let's go ahead and make the check. Go ahead and let Trolley... go ahead and let Flatty go ahead and follow up with a C-bet. Instead, he checks back, and I don't know why. Probably because you have a small pocket pair like 10s or jacks, and you know that you're no good. So we go ahead and fire out, and Troll making the call. River's that 2 of hearts. I don't really put him on a 3, so let's see if we can get him to call with an ace-king or an ace-jack here. Pretty thin value bet. Maybe he does have a 3. Does he have a 3? No. Maybe he has pocket queens? No. Ace-king. So there it is. We get to go for those implied odds. 3.5 to 1 dog pre-flop. Flatty. I would never say I'm sorry. You know, that's just bad poker etiquette, saying sorry when you put a bad beat on somebody. So I won't. Just know in my heart that I love you, man. I truly do. Oh, tell me that Flighty didn't just walk away from this tournament. Ah, troll, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, Flighty? You gotta keep it going. That add-on's coming up not too long. 13 minutes. You gotta put that add-on in. 5,000 chips for the same price as 3,000. Flatty, come on, man. I know it's late. Okay. Flatty 28 in the stream. he's Jesus fucking criminy, he says. Oh man, no spoilers, Flatty. No spoilers. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I realize it was dirty. I do realize it was dirty. Made it 12.50 pre-flop. I think we're folding. If you make it 2.5x, we're folding, but it was a little less than 2.5x, so we made the call. We just put a bad beat, a pretty bad beat on Flatty.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
No spoilers. Is he still in?
He decided to call it a night. Okay, so where are we at? 3 out of 39. Do we have the payouts up here? We do. Another 12 minutes until the tournament is done. KM Robbie says, time to give out a shark. I'm at your table. Let me take a look. Where are you, KM Robbie? What's your username, KM Robbie? Oh, shoot. Golf Sue's IQ, is that what we're seeing here? You got it. Friend of the stream, KM Robbie, thanks for calling yourself out. So we got DC 702 firing out 200 into a 1300 pot. And why do you do it? Why do you donk lead the minimum, man? Why do you donk lead the minimum? We do have a queen. You know, we're not ahead of a 7. We're not ahead if you have a queen too, because you probably have us out kicked. But there's just no way that we're giving you that we're going to let that stand. We'll see what you do. I think that you're always better off just check raising in this spot rather than donk leading 200. It looks like a blocker bet. It looks like I'd like to see a cheap turn, so let me see a cheap turn with a small pocket pair or ace rag, something like that. Surveillance tower. No problem, dude. Really appreciate you having in the stream, man. Oslister, do you ever straddle when you play face-to-face? Oslister, not often. Straddling is one of those just negative EV plays, especially when you're doing it under the gun. If it's a Mississippi straddle, where you're straddling on the button, it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. The only way that can be profitable, you guys, is if your straddle induces other people to straddle more often. You know, so you don't want to be the guy who's like, no, I never straddle because it's negative EV. Don't you know? Don't you know that when you are straddling every single orbit, that's negative EV for you to do that? What? You shouldn't do that. You know, no, you don't want to be that guy because you want to encourage people to keep on straddling and making mistakes. But make no mistake, it is an equity mistake. It is an equity mistake. It is an equity. A negative EV play to put out money when you don't have to without seeing your cards. So almost never, but I'm not going to say never because sometimes I do, in order to get other people to straddle more often. If I was in the that Twitch home game that we saw where they're all of a sudden seeing straddles and double straddles and triple straddles, I would politely decline because in that kind of game, when you're up against pros and you're up against players who are good, I'd rather not inflate the pot, and I'd rather not put money in and just donate it to you know, the Negranis and the Antonios of the world.
Did you just get cracked too?
No.
Oh.
So Pocket Kings, that unbeatable hand's little brother. We're gonna go and make the raise. 700. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're in 4th place out of 41 left. Golf Suzy Q making the call. We've got 2 opponents here. And it's kind of sketchy. Kind of sketchy. I mean, I'm not worried about not being ahead. I'm almost always ahead here. What I am worried about is not getting action on the hand. I'm kind of thinking maybe it would be better to go ahead and check, give a free card. But I feel like a free card is just as likely to help us as to, you know, get us action. So Jack 10 is what we want. The ace might have hurt us. The 10 definitely hurts us. Jesus Christ. So the kings is not the unbeatable hand. We know this because we get kings cracked all the time.
Did you get a horrible flop?
And man, that was the hand that Vegas Poker said that he was going to subscribe to if we actually held it up. Instead, the kings don't hold. Mr. Marbles making the raise at 625. We've got ace jack suited. We'll go ahead and make a call behind him. If someone goes ahead and shoves, we'll think about what to do. But I kind of like ace jack suited multi-way.
It's a turbo.
Yes, it is a turbo. We whiff the flop. We've got ace high, and I think we're just done with it. Making the fold. Making the fold.
I just can't check the news to dry my hair a little bit.
Wet Dot asking how's the gym workouts going. Non-existent this week. I was in Missouri all week and didn't hit it. But I'm going to be doing regular gym visits starting tomorrow when Michelle gets out of town. Still working on losing weight. Got most of the meat out of the diet. Did a little bit of just home stuff today. Push-ups, sit-ups, that kind of thing. Got to get down to 192 before January 1st, guys. Got those prop bets in play against some of our friends. Ryan Teppen, taping 69, 2-time circuit ring winner, and Chris Conrad, WPT winner. Awesome dudes. Some of my best friends in poker. Those guys are just great. So Evil Itch and Rick J getting it all in there pre-flop. Rick J winning that coin flip on the wrong side of it. Doesn't matter if you're Rick J. Snaps that king right on the flop. So, Jack 6 offsuit in the big blind. What do we do? What do we do? One and a half to one. I don't think it's enough to call there. We'll make the fold. Pocket jacks in the small blind. That looks pretty good, you guys. It's, what is it? Aces, kings, queens, jacks, the 4th best hand in poker. Only 3 hands can really beat us. We are right before the rebuy and add-on period stops. So, yeah, I think that we do this with pretty much any 2 cards anyway. So, do it right here. Kind of expecting Olsen to go ahead and look us up, and he does. King 4. We slide right through, hitting that set on the flop. And what do you think, Olsen? Do you go ahead and rebuy? You should, because the add-on is about a double add-on. Hey, June. June, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? You find a little bit of plastic treat over there? Rick J making the open limp. I don't like that open limp, Rick J. I'm going to give you the bony fish. I hate it so much. Jessica86W making the open limp behind. We don't really hate open limp behinds. Six. Let's go ahead and make the fold, I guess. Surveillance Tower saying, since you live in Vegas, do you play other games such as roulette, blackjack, or craps in your time away from poker? How do those games add up for you? Those are the games I love to play when I'm in Vegas. Surveillance Tower, no. We pretty much stick to positive EV games, expected value games, plus EV, a positive expected value, or a plus ER, a positive expected return. If you play craps, roulette, keno, pretty much any other game in the casino, you might as well just give them money. There are some exceptions, and there's some of those house games that can be beaten, but for the most part, I mean, roulette, blackjack, and craps, all those games can be beaten and have been beaten. How, might you ask? Well, blackjack easy, counting cards. Lots of people make money counting cards. If you don't know, if you don't know what count you use, and you try to convince someone that you're counting cards, then no, I'm not going to buy it. If you're like, oh, well, I count cards at blackjack. Yeah, what count do you use? Oh, just keep track of the cards. No, sir, that is not how you do it. You're doing it wrong. So if you can't say, oh, well, I use high-low, I use knockout. You don't know who, if you don't know who Stanford Wong is, then you're not doing it right. You're not a card counter. If you don't know what Wong Yin is or Ken Houston, you don't know who Hollywood Dave is, and you're not going to actually be making it as a blackjack player. Just because you saw a movie about blackjack doesn't mean that you are a blackjack card counter. How do you beat craps, you ask? I mean, how can that possibly be beatable? Well, two ways. One would be taking advantage of a casino's comp programs. Specifically, young casinos sometimes offer just ridiculous comps where it becomes a plus EV game. Sometimes they do things like loss rebates. I'll tell you, the Cosmopolitan got wrecked by a bunch of poker players and advantage players crushing their craps tables when they were just opening and decided that it would be a good idea to give 10% loss rebates. Not such a good idea. How else? I mean, if it's not comp programs, you can't beat it, right? No, you'd be surprised. The aforementioned Stanford Wong actually lost a really big prop bet by saying craps couldn't be beaten by dice control. Turns out that he paid that out. He had some people say, I will bet you that it can, and I will bet you that we will sit there with Michael Shackelford, Wizard of Oz. We will sit there with a couple mathematicians. We will run the stats, and we will show you that craps can be beaten using dice control. And it can. But if you don't have a craps table in your basement or your garage, then you can't do it. Okay, so don't, basically gambling is like this. If you don't know that you have an edge, usually you don't. If you don't know where that edge is coming from, you're better off not gambling. You're so much better off just, playing the lottery. Shoot. Why not? It's still going to be negative EV, but at least if you actually win and the long shot comes through, maybe you actually have like life-changing money. You go to Vegas with a couple grand in your pocket and sit up cozy at the blackjack table or the craps table. I mean, why not just sit back and play Yahtzee and and burn $2 or $3 because that's what you're doing. Negative EV games, man. So I sometimes play those other pit games and table games, video poker, slots. I mean, there's a lot of games that can be beaten that you can play as an advantage player. But if I don't have an edge at a game, I pretty much stick away from it. Poker is one of those games that the casinos don't really care if you have an edge in. They just take their rake. They are more than happy to see good players beat up on weak players, and as long as they're raking, they don't mind. What other games are beatable? Sports betting, like the holy quad within gambling circles is poker, video poker, sports betting, and blackjack. But as a professional gambler, I can tell you some tradecraft. Some of that's, some of those secrets is that there are slots that are beatable. There are games that are beatable in the right circumstances. Lots of new games come out, and for whatever reason, casinos don't realize that they're putting up a game that can theoretically be beaten just on its face. Then when you start mixing in, some of the tricks of the trade, taking advantage of weak dealers, that kind of thing, variable state machines. There's a lot of games on the casino floor that can be beat that casinos, still offer. Professional gambling isn't going away, but for my money, I like professional poker. You can be upfront and open with everybody about what you do. It's kind of like, the best of the best as far as professional gamblers, but the ceiling is lower, I think, in poker than it is in other forms of gambling, specifically sports betting. I suspect that the top gamblers of the world are actually sports bettors as far as, hourly rate and yearly earn. Guys, I'm going to be right back. 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks again for being here. Click on that follow link. Make sure to support the stream with that. It doesn't cost you anything. And also keep in mind, if you do sub, we give you a copy of my book, Poker Tilt. So DRM free, digital version for your your ebook reader, your tablet, your smartphone. You guys are great. We'll be right back.
We are gonna like take over the poker world. We are gonna like take over the poker world.
Here we are, guys. Right back in the mix of things with pocket sevens. Not a bad hand. We got Jessica 86W coming in with an open limp under the gun, and I don't really know what I think about that. This is what we think about that. Sandbacks saying, will you be going to Tahoe for the WSOP? No, Sandbacks. We got 2 circuit events, circuit series coming through Vegas here in the next 6 months, I think, over at Bally's and Planet Hollywood. So we're gonna be playing those. Well, shoot, what do we do against Olsen? The ace came. Pocket 7's probably not good anymore. Tiny little dry pot here. He checks back. I guess we check back, check it, see what he does. Pocket 8s is good. And maybe, yeah, maybe we should have just made a stab at it on that flop, gotten Olsen out. A lot of times that works, and I think a lot of times our timidity costs us 5,600 there. It's going to be pretty hard for Olsen to make the call. But the fact that there was a very, very dry side pot and 2 overcards there made us feel like we'll just make the check down and give up. Reno Grinder, good to see you in the stream. R.C. Smith talking about Alan Kessler, the chainsaw. Gotta love Kessler. Anaconda High Low, thank you very much for cleaning those up. Cleaning up those links, really appreciate it. Anaconda, one of our top guys here, Fearless Mod, really does a good job keeping the stream going. Zoran, how you doing, man? Didn't actually see the question, of course. Diego Golo, always a dangerous question. How did we do in the last tournament? But we didn't do so bad. 6th place, up about $1,000. So it was an okay tournament. We were in for 200, cash for 900 and something. It's been a good day. It's been a good weekend. I can't complain. Could have been better. Could be better here if we go ahead and take down a tournament. Getting 3-1 on Golf Susie IQ. I think we're going to go ahead and take a stand as well. Let's go ahead and see a flop, see what happens. We were getting a pretty good price, about 4-1, assuming that Olsen L7 calls behind us. We've got some pretty long implied odds as well. Not really the flop we're looking for, so done with it. Surveillance Tower, thank you very much. He says, I gave a follow for sure. I just want to learn. This is probably one of the most positive and constructive streamers I've seen in a while. I'll definitely be around to enjoy some time here. Surveillance Tower, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. McClaniels with the, are we going to, like, take over the poker world? Pretty much, man. Okay. Queen 5 off. We will, gosh, I feel like making a 3-bet here. Say we're going to make the fold. And Nwazno 855. I like the one table streams too, man. I feel like it definitely tells a better story. I think that you know, as a poker player, if you're going to be streaming on Twitch, you kind of have to decide what the priority is. Is the priority the stream or is it the play? And if it's the play, then why are you streaming? Because streaming is going to take away, you know, some of your focus. You might, if you want to focus on playing, you might as well just multi-table it and you know, move to Mexico, jump on Stars and Full Tilt. But I think, you know, for me, the priority is trying to put together a good stream, and that means one-tabling it. You know, talking about the decisions we make. Like right here, Rick J coming in with 1387. That means he actually had to go to the keypad and type in those weird digits behind him. Makes me really tempted to go ahead and fire out a 3-bet against him. Firing out. 1300 is our standard at the 300-600 level. And Golf Suzuki deciding to go ahead and come over the top of us. You're going to get through me, Golf Suzuki. And not Olsen. Olsen L7 decides he's going to go ahead and make the call. That's... Don't really understand it. So, Poker Mindset Coach asking about that check down to get a player out. No, I don't really feel like my equity goes up that much getting some random player out at this stage of the tournament. You know, we're well away from the money, and that kind of implicit collusion isn't going to be plus EV for me right now. If, you know, looking back on it, I really feel like just making the bet probably would have been better. So we fire out into one player, firing out that C-bet, half pot into a single opponent. And, yeah, we get looked up. So now we check to him and hope that he tries to move us off of whatever BS hand he puts us on. Ace-Jack seems like a legit hand here, Vegas Davy boy. So, now what? Ouch. Ouch. Heartbreaking. King-Jack. Against the flopped set of Vegas Davy boy. We are out of this tournament 33 out of 54. Boo. Guys, really appreciate all of you being here. That's going to be it for us. We're going to be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more great poker action. So make sure to click on that follow button if you aren't already following the stream. Again, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I wish you guys the best of luck at the poker tables. The best of luck on your own personal grind in, you know, on the felt and in life in general. Really appreciate all of you guys being here, man. Oh, and Nilesy had a question that I'm scared to answer. Nilesy, let me take a look. I missed the question. This is what we get when we don't have when we don't have Exmo on the stream, kind of helping me figure it out. Talking about that home game promises. Was that a Dutch Boyd promise? You will set up the home games this week while Exmo is gone. I want to win all your money, damn it. How am I going to pay you if you don't set up a Bitcoin account? A Bitcoin wallet, Nilesy, not an account. There's no Bitcoin account. It's decentralized. It's trustless. It's it's peer-to-peer. Set up that wallet, man. Otherwise, I won't be able to pay you. And yes, that is a Dutch Boyd promise. Home games getting set up this week. You got the Dutch Boyd promise, Nilesy. Guys, make sure to click on that follow button. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Really appreciate all of you being here.